Yesterday, I came across something that honestly blew my mind, and I just had to share it with you. Did you know that clinical studies show fasting can help your body target unhealthy tissues, even visceral fat, before it ever dips into burning regular fat? In some cases, patients have actually lost up to 50% of their tumor tissue, while only losing 10% of their body fat. So, can fasting treat cancer? Well, that's still being studied. But here's what I know. Fasting triggers some absolutely incredible changes in your body that work directly against cancer cells. If you stick with me for a few more minutes, I'll not only share 5 practical tips to make fasting easy and sustainable for you, but I'll also break down with real-life clinical evidence exactly how fasting works to fight cancer and why it might just be an essential tool for all of you to support cancer treatment or even prevent it from happening. All right, first things first, what is actually happening inside your body when you fast, especially in the context of cancer? So, cancer cells are greedy for sugar and thrive on high levels of glucose and IGF-1. When you fast, your blood sugar and this insulin-like growth factor, IGF-1, drop. Cancer cells get starved while your healthy cells shift into repair and protection mode, thanks to millions of years of evolution. This isn't just theory. Clinical and animal studies confirm that fasting makes cancer cells more vulnerable and less likely to spread, while healthy cells become even stronger and more resilient. And here's a fact. During fasting, your body kicks autophagy into high gear. So your cells overnight get rid of all their waste, cleans out damaged proteins, and this is the big deal. Autophagy even breaks down cells that are starting to turn precancerous. That's right, you're literally cleaning from the inside out. And if you want to know more about autophagy, you can go watch this video here. And just after the next bit, I'll share a couple of incredible real-life stories where fasting made a major difference in cancer outcomes, and you'll be shocked. Now, let's talk about hormones, because for hormone-driven cancers like some breast and ovarian cancers, the role of fasting is even more fascinating. Fasting supports liver detoxification pathways and beneficially recalibrates the gut microbiome, enhancing the metabolism and elimination of estrogen. This helps convert estradiol into safer metabolites like estriol, which are flushed out through urine. And this ultimately reduces the body's exposure to cancer-promoting estrogens, important in hormone-driven cancers. If you or someone you love has ever faced cancer, you know that overwhelming mix of fear, hope, and exhaustion. And I can understand how difficult it could be to randomly trust something as simple as fasting for such a critical condition. But I'm not just saying it, there are several studies where people are having a better cancer recovery with fasting. So it's not just theory. A young woman featured in the British Medical Journal tackled follicular lymphoma with a carefully supervised 3-week fast. She switched to a mostly plant-based diet. Over months, scans and blood tests showed genuine tumor shrinkage and long periods where her cancer didn't come back. Another man with stage 4 lymphoma that spread to his bones after failed chemotherapy did 2 extended, monitored fasts and saw dramatic improvements on his scans. Even the recent human trials like the FITI-2 and DIRECT-2 studies in breast and ovarian cancers are finding that fasting or even fasting mimicking diets before and during chemotherapy can not only make treatment more tolerable, but sometimes even improve tumor response rates. So that means less vomiting, fewer drops in white blood cells, lower fatigue, and in some people, faster recovery. And almost nobody in these trials had trouble sticking with the plan when it was supervised by professionals. But there's more. New research from 2025 on colon and breast cancer models shows that intermittent fasting reshapes your gut microbiome. Beneficial bacteria like Odoribacter and Allostypes multiply, producing anti-inflammatory substances while suppressing the compounds that fuel tumor growth. Plus, fasting energizes your natural cancer killer cells, making your immune system a more powerful ally. If you're finding this information helpful, share this with a friend or family member who needs to hear it, and remember to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a science-backed episode. Now, I'll not keep you waiting anymore. Ready for those 5 practical intermittent fasting tips? Here they are. Number 1, sync fasting with your menstrual cycle. Ladies, this one's super important. I've personally learned to fast gently in sync with my cycle, mostly during the follicular phase when estrogen is rising and the body is more insulin sensitive. If you feel tired or moody, listen to your body and pause fasting. Trying to push through hormonal stress can backfire, causing your body to hold on to fat as a defense. Fasting isn't a competition, it has to flow with your hormones and energy levels. Try alternate fasting days or adjust fasting length in different phases. For example, short fasts or no fasting before your period, that's the luteal phase, often work best. This approach is backed by science. Fasting can impact your menstrual hormones, so syncing fasting to phases helps maintain balance and reduce stress. Second, don't fight your cravings, instead work with them. If you love your morning tea, you don't have to give it up while fasting. Just skip the milk and sugar. And if you're aiming for a 16-hour fast and hunger hits in the last hours, add our fat-burning chai creamer to your black coffee or black tea. It has MCT powder that keeps you full, energized, and doesn't break the fast. You will not even feel like you are not having your regular tea or coffee. You can also enjoy bulletproof coffee by blending 1 tablespoon of ghee or butter and half a tablespoon of coconut oil into your black coffee. That creamy combination of fat not only satisfies hunger but supports gut health thanks to butyric acid found naturally in ghee and butter. And if fasting makes you overeat later or triggers food anxiety, start with just a 12 to 14 hour overnight fast. Finish dinner by 8 p.m., breakfast at 8 or 9 a.m. Take it easy, there is no need to jump into the deep end at once. Third, support with protein and movement. This is a big one, especially if you're active like me. I walk between 10,000 and 15,000 steps daily, and my muscles need protein every single day. If you plan to work out while fasting, say a workout at 8:30 a.m., but you break your fast at 9, that's absolutely fine. Your muscles won't break down if you have a good protein shake right after and follow it with a solid protein-rich meal later. For intense training days, aim to eat protein every 3 hours during your eating window to prevent muscle loss and soreness. Protein is key for your energy, hormone health, and keeping cravings in control. Next, adapt fasting to your lifestyle. Fasting isn't one size fits all. Your routine, stress levels, and daily demands shape what works best for you. If you're on holiday, stressed, or feeling low, be gentle with yourself, shorten your fasting window, or pause altogether. Science shows flexible fasting plans are easier to maintain and lead to better long-term results. Back in my early 30s, I used to fast by skipping breakfast and would go until noon without eating. If that style fits your life and energy, go for it. So what I want to make you understand is that fasting should adapt to your current lifestyle and body needs. Find the timing that feels right for you and embrace it. Last, if you have cancer or you are on chemotherapy, fast only under medical supervision. The largest cancer fasting trials use supervised fasting protocols. Yes, fasting can reduce chemotherapy side effects and even improve tumor response, but always consult your oncology team before trying it. So fasting done correctly activates your body's natural intelligence, turning on cell repair, flushing out toxins, mobilizing the immune system, and rewiring metabolism in favor of health and against cancer. If cancer is on your journey, fasting should be a medical strategy, not a solo experiment. If this episode changed something for you or gave you hope, hit like and share the video with someone you care for. Your body is powerful and the right knowledge makes it unstoppable. Stay healthy, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next video.